Hey everybody, this is Captain Yeet here for you for the anime moments that hit. Today we're going to be doing number 82, Aggretsuko. So let's get into it. The way I found Aggretsuko was kind of a long story, so please bear with me. So I found it in general, like the very first time on Netflix. I'm just scrolling around one day. I go to the worth the wait tab and I see Aggretsuko. I watch the trailer and I'm like, hey, this looks kind of interesting. I'm going to watch this day one. I kind of forgot about it on day one. Not that I thought it was boring or anything. Like I said, I was kind of interested to watch it, but whenever it first came out, I'm like, yeah, I completely forgot about it. There was a lot going on that week. The reason why there was a lot going on that week was because my granddad on my mom's side, he passed away, and we had to like plan the funeral. A few days later, we had the funeral, and one of my cousins I met for the first time that was on my granddad's side, he took me and some of my other cousins out to go get some sneakers and also go see Avengers Infinity War just to cheer us up after the funeral. After that happens, we come back to my house because they came from far out of town, so they had to spend the night. We go to sleep, we wake up, and my left elbow, it is booming. I mean, it is hurting so bad. I am like crying tears. It is ridiculous. I was kind of confused too because the way I slept, I didn't sleep in a weird way that would make my elbow do this, but it's hurting. It's definitely hurting because I don't know what's happening. So I kind of maneuver myself around to sleep in a new position, and I go back to sleep. I wake back up. I think it's hurting even more now. My mom gave me something. I took something to where I was able to have my arm just dangling down to the somewhat lift it up. But after that, I just couldn't do nothing. Like it was hurting for a long time, all day. So eventually, she took me to the hospital, and the doctor said that I inflamed my muscle tissue on my left elbow. That's what I remember him saying to me. Like I inflamed my muscle tissue. I don't know how the heck I did that. The only thing I could think of was the day or two before the funeral, since we're gonna have a lot of family over the house. I had to rake the yard. Now the yard was like pretty messy because we have these gigantic pine trees in the front and backyard. We have a ton of them, and we just got the house, and I barely got any time to do any yard work, so I had to rake all day into the night. I got a few breaks, but I was just raking, raking, raking. But it doesn't make any sense to me because it was only my left elbow, not my right elbow. It wouldn't be both my arms because you use both your arms to move the rake like that. I don't know, but something, whatever was going on, my left elbow was going crazy. So the doctor gave me these pills I had to take every day. Each day I took it, I had to make my arm go up a little more and more. But man, after that soccer pain, I nearly passed out. That junk hurt so bad. One side note I want to mention really quickly, it's kind of funny, but the night, like that same night when we watched the Avengers Infinity War, all my cousins went to bed. Before I went to bed, I was the last one to go to sleep. I watched the My Hero Academia episode. I forgot the name of it. It was probably just called Muscular versus Deku. But the episode whenever Deku fights Muscular for the first time and beats him, that's the episode I watched. I just find that funny because something was going on with my muscle tissue in the episode I watched right before I went to bed was him fighting a villain all about muscle tissue manipulating to make him stronger and deeper. So I find that a little funny whenever I think back to it. I don't find the pain funny. That pain was not funny at all, boy, but I find that kind of funny. But that being said, after that happens, oh wait, I got a phone call. I got my phone call. So with that being said, yeah, I was out of school for a whole week. I could not go to school for a whole week because my arm was hurting so bad. It was ridiculous. I nearly passed out from the pain. During that week I was out of school, I would stay up all night into like the afternoon. I would literally have to pass out in order to go to sleep because I was really nervous that if I go to sleep and I move around a little bit, my arm is going to bend. I'm going to wake up from the pain. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So I would just stay up all night playing One Piece Treasure Cruise, watching Fluffy and a bunch of other stuff. And one thing I watched was Arasco. When I was like, just staying up super late, I was going in my list to see what else I could watch because at the time I was like caught up on everything I was watching. I was like, wait a second. Arasco. Oh my goodness, I completely forgot about this. I gotta, I gotta hurry up and watch this. I watched season one. I fell in love with it. It was a really good show about all these, well, in this world a bunch of anthropomorphic animals walking around and talking, like like Zootopia. And then Ratsko is around 20 something. She works in an office, an accountant, and she just goes on crazy hijinks. Now, one specific thing in this show is that she likes to do like death metal rock singing, but see, that's like a secret. Nobody really knows that. Obviously, later on throughout this season and up until like the series finale, that's whenever more and more people start to find out to what basically the whole main cast knows and just about everybody knows in the world because he starts singing this out loud anywhere. I didn't really like series ending. We didn't really get a time skip to see what everybody's doing and see what everybody ends up with. I really wish we would have got that. I mean, we get the main pairing confirmed, Ratsuko and Haida, but everybody else, we don't really know what's going on after that. And the whole rage department, her running for council, I'm like, this is kind of weird for a final season. I don't know if they're ever gonna bring it back for a season 6, hopefully, but yeah, that was a really weird ending. That was a really weird ending. I don't know if this was made specifically for Netflix or it was a manga at first and then they made the animation and then they just changed it up like Beastars. I don't know, but I do like it in general. I was thinking about doing episode reviews. Maybe not this year, but one day I'm gonna do episode reviews for Rascal. But with that being said, let's get into the three moments I want to bring up for Rascal. So, moment number one. I want to bring up whenever Haida was talking to Finico about his feelings for Arasco and how he's probably going to cut off the whole Arasco love for right now. No, well, not for right now, but forever. Because in this season, that's when we get this new character, Nune. She's a dog and she really likes Haida and she's into a lot of stuff that Haida likes too. So it's like a shoe-in. Like, you should go for her. But obviously, he still likes Arasco, but he can tell recently that's really probably most likely not going to happen, especially after season one, whenever she did shut him down, which was so sad, man. I would have been sick to my stomach. When Finico hears this, she's really surprised because for the last 5 years, Haida's been, liking on Rasco, and that's his good friend from college, even a little bit before college, I think. So, she's like, are you sure you really want to do this? I've been helping you for this long, and you're really not going to go after Rasco anymore? You're going after Nude? And he's like bringing up the points I was saying, like, she's a really sweet girl. We like the same stuff and he's thinking the rascal thing probably isn't going to work out. So she goes, okay, but tell me why you like a rascal. In the last 5 years, I would assume that this conversation would have already came up, but he's like, why do you like a rascal in the first place? Besides from the like, the normal that she looks really cute and everything, he does say that other reason why he likes her. So I said it wrong, but the main reason why he brings up the reason why he likes her is he used to think that she was perfect, but one day he saw her looking really nervous and guilty about something. So he told her to see what was going on, and she was, well, I guess it's not really stealing, but she was like stealing water from like the bubbler and putting it into her water bottle, and she was acting super guilty about it. And I showed him that she's not perfect. Not saying that he was perfect either, from his own works too. He got a lot of problems too, but after he saw that, he just started liking her like crazy, which I thought was really sweet. And when Pinnacle started to cry, Pinnacle started crying. But when she realizes like, oh man, he really is gonna give up on Orasco. This 5 year endeavor is just down the drain. He goes, are you crying? I got something in my eyes. There's nothing. But as soon as he says he's done with Orasco, as soon as he says that, when I'm done with her, he's still gonna be friends with her, obviously. But as soon as he says that he's not gonna try to pursue her anymore, he gets a text message from her instantly. Now I know that Captain Yi, you didn't like the whole rage like department plot line. Not really. I know if I say this, well, you like this plot line? Now the plot line with the whole idol group, like you remember Rasco, Steve rammed through that Jaguars guy. It's been a while since I've watched Rasco, so I really only know like the main players' names for right now. It's been so long since I watched it. Remember, she ran into his car, she had to pay him back, and he runs the idol group on the side based off his regular job. So aside from being the accountant, eventually she had to, well, she was being the accountant for the idol group, but then she started to actually sing in the idol group, and the Jaguar wanted them to play instruments. But I'm like, shouldn't they just have background players playing the instrument, like random people playing the instruments besides from the actual singers? That's what normally happens. I know sometimes you can see bands where the singer is playing guitar and also singing too, but most of the time it's the singers and then the instrument players. But she needs to play a bass. She doesn't know how, so she's texting Haida. And Finnicle's like, what? Well, you just said you're about to go all in on a new name, so delete the text. Oh, not delete it, but tell her you can't. Don't hang out with her. He goes, yeah, of course, of course. Yeah, I can help you. And he instantly says yes without no hesitation. No hesitation. Put it under zero pressure. Even Fenico was trying to tell him, like, name off 3 things you don't like about a Rasco, and he did it, but he still said yes. That rascal love just came flooding back instantly. Instantly. No matter what. And I do like the scene whenever him and her were also training. Sorry, I'm starting. I do like the scene whenever he was teaching her how to play guitar and she was getting frustrated how you gotta fold your fingers. He said, well, it's about your corners. fingers don't have corners, so they started arguing. And eventually, she was actually able to actually strum a beat, which is really good. One thing I do want to mention before I get to the second moment is this whole. It wasn't even really a love triangle. I know they threw a third girl in the mix to get a love triangle, but since Aransco wasn't really showing any feelings towards Haida in this moment, it was more of one-sided love triangle, which is kind of wonky to me. Not saying I needed Aransco to like get super jealous and start realizing her feelings for Haida. I wouldn't mind that plot line to happen, but that didn't really happen with this. I was like, huh, okay. I was a little weirded out. The only time that actually did kind of happen was whenever she was leaving Haida's house. Remember that when she was leaving the house to go back to her house, go back to her house. She passes by Anune because Anune and Rascal were hanging out with Haida on the same day. But Rascal was leaving, she was coming in, and they both look at each other and they both pass by. But to Anune, she's the only one really like, oh, it's her. Rascal, not really. She just seems a little nervous, but that's about it. That's really about it. Nothing else too crazy about that situation. So now let's get into moment two. I do want to so really quickly, whenever Rascal was able to finally strum the guitar, finally, like that was it was a cute moment when she was like really happy about it, and also Haida too. They're like, yeah, and they're like so happy. Oh man, I messed it up. Before I go on to the second moment, I do just want to say that I did kind of like that. What's his name? Tadano? It's been so long since I watched this. I forgot his name. I remember the donkey Aransco was in love with in season two. I forgot his name. It's been a while, but I did like how him and Haida were becoming pretty good friends throughout the series, or throughout the season. Well, not even after this season, they were becoming pretty good friends, and he was trying to give him advice on what to do. I did like this a lot. It was a really nice friendship that they had. Also, I thought Gory and yeah, that was a gorilla, right? Yeah, the gorilla. Gory and him, I thought they were gonna get together, the donkey and them, because they were kind of flirting. But after Haida introduced Gory to him, they were like talking all the time, calling each other. I'm like, I wonder if those two gonna get together. I guess not, because that never happened by the end, from what I remember. It's been a while since I've seen season five, but from what I remember, that didn't happen. Okay, so the second moment I want to bring up is whenever Haida had to leave the internet cafe to go live with Erasco. Because number one, just staying, like actually living with Erasco was kind of crazy. I'm like, wow, that's like a big step. I didn't think they would actually live together until they got like married or engaged or something. But I want to bring that up because one, it was a crazy moment that, he was living with her. But two, I feel really bad for the skunk girl. It's been so long, like I said, so I don't remember her name. But in this season, Haida, he lost his job from last season because he was doing that legal stuff with the new boss. And besides from that, his dad and his brother kicked him out of the apartment complex that his family owned. So he was out on the street on his own. He didn't tell anybody. So he had to live in an internet cafe for a little while. He became friends with this skunk girl. And they had a pretty good friendship. I really liked her. She was like really nice. Now she doesn't really show too much emotion on her face. She's always like doom and gloom and stuff. But still, you can tell sometimes her emotions. And I just like their friendship. It was sad whenever he had to leave the internet cafe to go live with Veransko because you can't, obviously, like I said, she doesn't show that much emotion on her face, but you can tell she was sad. She was pretty sad to see a good friend that she was, I guess, technically living with because they were in like the same little, what's it called, cubicle. Well, we got the word. They were in the same little cubicle. I don't know the word, but you know what I'm saying. And it was just sad, especially when later on in the season you see her again whenever they meet up, and she's even looking worse than before. She's looking even rougher. I'm like, oh man, this is sad. By the end of the season, she is doing a lot better for herself than at the beginning. But in this moment, I'm like, oh what? This is ridiculous, man. Haida, say you're gonna come back and visit or lend her some money when you get your job or something. But yeah, she looks sad. She looks so sad. That tore me up. And I guess I'll also say with this moment too, specifically, it was wild that Haida met Rascal's mom. Now I know he technically did meet her already whenever he went to go to Rascal's house to get her out of the sad little lump she was in after she got attacked. And he did meet her technically, but this is like more of a actually talking face to face. He knocked on the door, she walks in the soap opera with the headphones on because the door is locked. And she goes, young man, who are you? I'm like, who in the no? Cause you saw her ears a little bit before he turned around. I'm like, Roscoe's mom. Oh no! Oh no! This is bad. I didn't know how else he was gonna react. I'm like, he's probably gonna be happy. He's like, Rascal has a man now, but still, that was so funny. Ain't no way her mom is here right now. Ain't no way. That was funny to me, man. So I'm gonna show another thing. This isn't specifically in the three moments. I already saw moment one. This is moment two. Moment three is with Tone, the pig boss. But I do want to show this one quick thing from the Christmas special that was in between seasons one and two. Because I couldn't decide if I wanted moment three to be this Christmas special moment or specifically the Tone moment. I was like debating so hard. I guess I'll put both in there. But the Tone moment is moment three. This is like a quick little extra moment, just hey, you got it. Hey, I guess you guys get it. It's whenever at the end of the Christmas special, Haida runs into Aransco after she's done eating ramen with Gory and the bird kind of notices the whole Aransco and Haida thing, and so she's like, you know what, we have something to do. And so she walks off with Gory. And so Haida gets to walk Aransco, walk and talk with her to the train station. That moment was really sweet. That's a little good thing. Because, at the end of season one, she rejected Haida. Then also in this, Haida wasn't really doing the best with Aransco because he kept feeling those emotions whenever she did reject him. And it was nice that he took the taxi to run back to the office to try to like do something with Aransco since Fenico pointed out that, she's by herself on Christmas Eve. She's pretending like she's not by herself. Like she has to fake these pictures. And there was no one at the office. So he just had to walk home alone. But this is a sweet moment. I like this moment so much. I remember I watched this moment the night before I had to go to driver's ed, even though I missed it. I missed it. If you miss one day, you're not allowed to come back. And this was the first day, the night before the first day. I watched this. Me and my mom got the dates wrong, so we didn't go on the first date. I couldn't. I got my driver's license now, but at the time, yeah, it was it was gone. That's so funny when I think about it. It was like the night before my driver's test. This happened. I watched this. I'm so happy. Then I couldn't go. I couldn't go at all. Just had me cracking up. But okay, yeah. Now let me show the last moment with Tone. I gotta pause the video to get it up because it's not in this Christmas special. All right, and the last moment I want to bring up is specifically with Tone, the boss that's the pig. Now he had his ups and downs in personality, especially in the beginning. We didn't have like Tone at all, but near the end of the series, he started to cool out a little bit, and he was actually a pretty nice guy. Especially whenever we got the new CEO, that dog guy. When we got him, the new CEO was telling Tone that we gotta make some budget cuts, and especially in the accounting department, you gotta lay off at least 4 to 5 people. So give me a list of the people you want gone. He didn't really want to do it, but he keeps telling him you have to. We get that one funny scene when he's going over everybody with the. He's supposed to be a monkey. What is he saying? The kiss up that's always around him that likes idols groups, and he was like falling over Rascal because he was an idol. I don't know what he was. He was a monkey, right? Isn't that a monkey? Then I guess an otter. If not a monkey, an otter. I don't know what he was supposed to be, but it was him and Tone going over everybody in the department. And when they were doing that, it kind of seemed like he was gonna fire Aratsko and some other people. But when he gave the paper back to the dog dude, he can't find anybody. Everybody's accepting him. He goes, "What? Hey man, I told you you need to fire." He goes, "Hey, you sold me a Formula One race without a pit crew. I'm gonna show you a bunch of cars sitting down." And he just walks out. Then when he goes back to his wife at home, he tells his wife that back in the day a similar thing happened when he was younger in this office. But the old CEO, the elephant guy, he didn't let not one person get fired. He says, "We stay together. We're a family. Nobody's getting canned on my watch." That was so nice of him, man. I was like, okay, Tone. Okay, I see how you moving now. I see it. This is nice. That was so nice of him to say. That was such a sweet moment. I love that moment so much with Tone. This is when he really started to cool out a little bit. And there was another. Well, I'll talk about that next time we talk about Erasco, whenever that's gonna be. Whenever that's gonna be. But yeah, that was good. I love that moment so much with Tone. And that's about it. I know there was something I was gonna bring up because it was kind of funny whenever I think about. Oh, I think it was at the start of season 4 or 5. I remember I saw a bunch of like theories about Finico and Hydus to get together because they have a really good bond. They're always talking to each other. They were friends before they even got the accounting job. Then they knew each other in colleagues. But still, I was like, nah, I'm a Haida and Rasco guy. I can see why people say Finico and Haida, obviously, because they are good friends. They have a good bond together. But still, I'm like, what? Man, get this Haida and Finico out of here. What are y'all talking about? This is ridiculous. But yeah. That's about it. I know people might bring up like the stupidest Haida was doing in season five, kept leaving Aggretsuko, and she said, "You want to come in?" Uh, nah. What? Look, I know me. I would have definitely been nervous too. But come on, Haida. And especially since he just kept doing that over and over and over, kept rain checking. Come on, that's bad. That's a bad look, man. That is so bad. What are you doing? Okay, so before I end it, I just want to show this one shot of Monica. This joke is so funny. Whenever the Jaguar was telling her that, telling Rascal that she's being followed, Monica gets a bat with nails in it. She goes, "Don't worry, they're fine. This bat is ain't for just for show." I was like, "What?" She had a whole bat. That was hilarious. And that shot of her getting ready to fight. I just love that shot. That is hilarious. There was this fan art I had. I can't find it. I cannot find it. I took a screenshot of it. It was basically that pose whenever she has the bat. But she's in like a more humanoid form. And it's like a basically a human, but she has like the animal features, like the tail and the ear. I can't find it, man. I wanted to show it on my phone. I just couldn't find it for the life of me. I took it back when season three came out. You know how long ago that was? I can't find it. If I can find a picture of it, I'll put it in the thumbnail. And I'll put in the critics who made it. I mean the critics, the comics. The comics who made it, but I cannot find it. I'm so upset. I have no idea where that junk is. I'm gonna try I'm gonna pause the video again so I can show a screenshot of an ending shot in the video on, but if I can't find it, I can't find it. Thank God I was able to find it. Thank you, God. I was able to find it. I don't know who made this, but this is the thing I was talking about. I thought this was so funny. Here it is right here. I don't know who made it, but yeah, that's the picture I was talking about. I saw this other one on my phone. I forgot it. Made by T Whiskers. This one Haida was like drawing a big picture of a rascal in the sand, and she came by really mad about it. Okay, that's everything I got for you guys today. So like, share, subscribe. I'll see you all later. Thank you all for watching. I think all later, human beings, and I hope you all have a God bless day slash night. Okay. Bye bye.